Alright, today's going to be a little bit different of a video. We're going to be walking you guys through how to tile. This is actually our first time. We did the bottom bathroom, now this is the upper bathroom. We put a pan in, we put cement board in, we put red guard on, just a waterproofing, and this is our setup. So that tile cutter right there we just bought for $100, the best investment we ever made. Super easy to use. It's got a little gold blade on it that just scores the tile. That red thing pops up, you put some pressure on the tile and it snaps super easily. Great investment. This is the thin set we're using, VersaBond white. Doesn't really matter what color, for us at least. We also picked up these tile hole saw kits, one for the handle hole and one for the actual faucet. These were also a lifesaver. We did the first bathroom with a Harbor Freight set. Those are our spacers right there, and it was horrible. So definitely get you a nice couple of hole saws kits. First step is you're going to level out the walls. You're going to go a full tile and add 1/8 of an inch on the bottom. That's where your boards are going to sit, and that's just going to make it so you have a fully level surface. Sometimes the pans aren't level. You can see it's nice and level on the back wall. And on the right wall, I didn't get the left wall, but it is also level. And then the second step is getting your center line. So I got my center line. Then we mark the tile, top of the tile in the center, mix up some thin set, and we're ready to tile. So first, we had a good system, me and Berto. I put down the thin set on the wall, he back buttered the tiles and cut them. So he would bring them in. And then what I'm doing here is aligning up my center line with the line I marked on the wall. That ensures it's all centered. And then what I'm doing right there is scraping out the edges of the thin set that's on the tile, just because it makes less of a mess and there's no thin set that oozes through when you put that next tile down. Then you're gonna put your spacers. It's important to measure your next tile with the spacers on, so it's not too tight and you can't get the spacer in there. Put them all around, measure. Next tile in. And then I'm just showing you this self-leveling spacer kit. It comes with those yellow pieces and the white spacers and a tool. And what this does is, if a tile isn't sitting flush, like you can see in this video, more on the bottom part, the right tile is just sitting a little lower than the left. So what it does when you put these spacers in is it levels them, self-levels them, so then it's a nice level surface right there. As you can see, it's sitting a little lower, and that just brings it right up. You get your tool, clamp them both down. And now you can see it's level, nice and flat. And I'm just doing the same thing on this right wall, getting my center line, marking the center of the first tile, lining it up. Same thing, measuring with the spacers. And then on that right side is where a trim piece is gonna go. So you're gonna want to get your first tile on there, and then each tile on the right part, you're going to want to make sure it lines directly up, like exactly with those. So that's because the trim piece is going on. If one piece is sticking out farther than the other, the trim won't sit flush. You're going to have a big gap. Anyways, we're back to the back wall, and you're going to want to make sure, you're going to see me here with my level. Every other row is good, but I did it every row just because I was paranoid. I didn't want to start going up the wall crooked. And if you do have a tile that is a little unlevel, you just want to put a little spacer, level it out, and then continue up the wall. Got my level there. And then also what you want to do is, as you go, you want to clean it as much as you can. Sometimes you can forget, but makes it a lot easier. When it dries, it's just harder to get out, especially in the cracks. So I'm constantly taking a damp towel and right here, going right in between. Saves a lot of a headache later. Alright, continuing up the wall. I also don't know which way those yellow things that go in the spacers are supposed to go, but I'm not sure if it matters much. Alright, it's the next day. Now we're doing the top. Top, we need to shave a little bit off of the top, and it made it kind of difficult because only maybe half an inch had to come off, and with that tile cutter it's hard to make thinner cuts, but it's doable. Now we're doing this right side, and every single time I'm measuring whatever piece is going to be on that outside wall trim, just again to make sure it's nice and level so your trim goes right on nice and flush, there's no big gaps. Now Berto's measuring for the shower valve, making the cut. This thing made it a lot easier than our Harbor Freight set. Took only like less than 5 minutes. The Harbor Freight one, it took us about 30-45 minutes. Continuing up the wall. Same thing, that left side, you want to make sure those are all nice and flush, so your trim just goes right on there every time I'm measuring. There's that second piece with the shower faucet. That one is a little harder because I don't know why it's smaller, but it cracks. The tile cracks a lot easier, but those new wholesale tile kits made it a lot easier. And there you have it. This is our second shower, but our first time ever doing tile. If we can do it, you guys can do it. It's not too hard, just takes a while. It's really time consuming, but thank you for watching. We're going to be doing a lot more in these bathrooms and put some floors around the house, so stay tuned. Thank you.